Evening there everyone. Today I'm going to tie a pike fly. It's going to be a fairly big pike fly, but it's going to be a relatively easy pike fly. I'm going to do this on a tube because tube has numerous advantages. For instance, when you tie on tubes, you can get your hook moved a bit further down. You can use a tandem hook set if you like, and stuff like that. But also when you tie on tubes, you can get some pretty light flies that are fairly easy to cast. We're gonna use some bucktail, some big fly fibers, some ostrich hurls in XXL, of course a lot of flash, and then finally we're gonna attach one of these fish masks from Flyman, a very cool product. I enjoy a lot to use. So first of all, taking a bundle of bucktail. This is to make the fly stiff. To make the fly, to make the other materials in this fly stand out and be supported, so they don't just collapse in the water. But this relatively stiff hair, coarse hair, will ensure the rest of my fly will stay voluminous and have a lot of the right movement in the water. So as you can see, I'm just applying some thread here. Taking my my pen tool here from just a ball point pen, something like that, folding the bucktail backwards, and then I'm gonna tie up to the bucktail but not on top of the bucktail, to ensure that the bucktail will be forced backwards but not be forced completely backwards. So in a second you will see the effect this has. As you can see here, you get kind of like a corona effect, and because the bucktail is relatively stiff, this will help to keep the fly to keep the fly very wide and spread out and voluminous, bulky, you could say as well, I think. So I'm taking a relatively large amount of big fly fiber. This is the color copper, a nice color for many applications. So and today I'm going to take this bundle and I'm going to spread it out, as you can see here, and I'm going to lay it down so it's going to be surrounding my tube. So it's going to be distributed evenly, or as close to evenly as I can, all the way around the tube, like so. This again will add some bulk, and because of the bucktail, this material will now stand out a bit more and have more volume, more bulk. Cutting off the leftover big fly fiber here. All the stuff I don't need. And now it's time for the flesh. Gotta have flesh in your pike flies. So today we're going to use three different flesh. We're going to use the ever awesome, ever great Magnum Flashaboo, and this is going to be in gold. And as you can see, this is 52 centimeters long. I cannot stress enough how absolutely cool this is, and the amount of flesh you get in a bag is just unbelievable. So thank you very much, Hedron, for making this this product. This is, well, one of my all-time favorites. So taking a bundle of this in gold, like so, and just pulling out these fibers here to make them uneven in length. About halfway will make this fly about 30 centimeters long, which is a nice size, I think. Trying to distribute it evenly all the way around the tube here. Applying some thread, turning over the flesh. Again, I could use this one. This is probably going to be easier if I do this. I should have a small clamp here, but for some reason I've misplaced mine. You know, the ones that hairdressers have, or dolls. It's used for small girls use them for doll hair. Those are very good to just keep everything in line, keep everything in check. So, tying once again on top of the flash here. And you can see this kind of very bulky, very Corona, very nice shape this fly is taking now, is getting now. And then we need to take the other type of flash, and this is again the Flytying Magnum. This time it's in holographic, and the color here is holographic copper. New color, new edition. At least to my knowledge, a new edition. Well, this is also a very nice color. Just making sure that these strands are a bit uneven. Whipping it around in the air to make sure that everything is straight again. Sometimes when you open these packages of Flytying holographic, they seem to be a bit moist, a bit damp, so they will cling a little together. This will rectify itself as soon as you've used the flash for a shorter period of time, because it will simply dry up and be a bit more smooth to work with. So here is what I'm doing. Applying it all the way around the hook. No, not hook. The tube, of course. The tube here is a Future Fly tube, a nice tube, and the diameter is 4.6 millimeters. I think I seem to recall. 4.6 millimeters is quite heavy. So what you need is a specific type of tube fly needle, and both Pro Sportsfisher Eumer, which is the one I'm using here, another tube fly company, and also Future Fly, of course, makes tube fly needles that fit these heavy duty big fly tubes. But you probably will, if you have a tube fly needle for regular salmon flies and stuff like that, it's probably not gonna hold the tube here. So you need an additional big fly predator type of tube fly needle. And there you have it, a lot of gold and a lot of copper here, to a very nice color combination. And what we need now is, I'll take a big bundle of, actually the fly is well, not close to done, but we need to tie in 4 more things, and then it's done. First I'm going to take a bundle of golden brown or ginger ostrich in XXL, and as you can see, these are magnificent. I'm gonna gather up this bundle here of ostrich pearls like this, and these I'm gonna tie so they're pointing forward, because we're going to tie in 2 bundles of these ostrich pearls, 2 bundles of flash, and once that is done, then we're going to turn everything. Use this fish mask to turn everything backwards, because then the fish skull will be filled, but also the materials will stand out and have more volume, more bulk in that way. Again, I'm trying as careful as I can to get these ostrich feathers all the way around the tube here, like so. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing. Oh, but we can do that now. I'm also gonna add another type of flash. This is lateral scales, and these lateral scales work very good for to imitate sidelines on fish. And just to give this a bit more mayhem, I'm gonna use some of these in mirror opal, a color that really gets the job done and makes a lot of noise. We're just gonna tie a bundle in of this. Not many, maybe 7 or 8 fibers or something like that, strands of this material. catch the last one there, just to add a bit more vitality. I hope you can see how truly vivid these lateral scales are. Then I'm going to take the gold, and the reason why I did the brown one first is because when I'm going to turn this over, I want the brown one to be the outer one, and when I turn everything over, the brown one will be the outer one now. Adding some more Flytying in gold, Flytying Magnum in gold here. Then some grey ostrich pearls. This is, as I said earlier, a relatively light fly. This fly will not weigh very much, so it's going to be fairly easy to cast on a lighter rod. Of course, it's a big fly, but since it's made from materials that don't soak up a lot of water, these materials soak up close to nothing in water. Then this fly is going to be easy to cast, and also because we add this head that is made from plastic instead of creating a very heavy head out of let's say UV curing glue or epoxy, then the fly gets lighter and easier to maneuver and cast in the air. And as I was saying, the head will make sure that that the fly will cut very neatly through the air. So like that. Oh, this looks good. And then the final part is I'm going to take a bundle of copper Flytying in copper holographic Flytying. This is the way to tie this fly. It's actually a pretty sound and pretty good base model for doing a lot of pike flies. So I could imagine, and this fly would be very good at, let's say, green, for instance, or some red and gold. It would be nice in as well, or even pink and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do all the types of flies I'm doing in every color I'm using them in, because that would take too much time. So think of this fly as kind of like a general way of making pike flies, and then combining the colors you like and works from your local waters with the technique used here. That is kind of like the base idea of many of the tutorials I'm doing, is to kind of let people have ideas on how to do a certain type of fly, and then just mess around with doing the color schemes that they find most suitable for their habitats, their waters. So finally, I'm gonna do some knots here. I'm gonna just do some. So the final thing that remains is to attach this head, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna help it a bit along the way. So we're just gonna take these materials, maybe we can do it with the pen tool again, and just hold everything back here. I'm gonna take this. This is the 10mm. You could use a 15mm also if you really like your flies big, but for this pattern I'm gonna use the 10mm. So I'm gonna take the 10mm head here. I'm gonna squeeze this up, and as you can see, this will force all the materials here backwards, but it will also force the materials to stand out I know that gravity is pulling a lot in the fly now, but as you can see, you get a nice looking fly with all these mixed in, and all the materials here are very vibrant and moves independently and individually in the water. It's a fairly simple pattern, and you don't use that many materials. You use some big fly fiber, some bucktail, some flash, and a head, and then basically that's it. So it's a relatively cheap fly because the materials you use comes in very large packs, and well, as you can see, there you go. The final thing is you want to add some eyes, and for this fly I'm gonna use the Flyman eyes that fits here, and I'm gonna do them in the color called Fire. Nice color for this pattern. Add those, and as you saw, I just dropped in a small amount of super glue to ensure that the eye will stay there, because you need to have super glue to make sure it stays there. The glue that is on the back of these eyes is not sufficient, is not strong enough to hold this eye in place without any assistance. Like that. And there you have it. Nice, relatively light fly that will move truly awesome in the water, and will because it's durable, it will last to a lot of pikes. Of course, you can if you want to be 100% certain that this head is not moving anywhere, you can just apply a bit of thread out here. It's not something I normally do. I just take it out and cut it off, and then with the lighter I can show you. It's much better. You gotta love that. What I'm doing is I'm just cutting out here, making sure my tube here is expanded, and then I take a lighter and just heat it a bit here in the front to make kind of like the tube will then draw back, and as you can see, I need to expand this a bit here. Like so. And as you can see, you can put your leader straight through this. So, a long, light fly that will move very well in the water. Well, thank you for tuning in.